Hello, welcome to channel 3682, coming at you live from U Suites in the middle of nowhere. Well, kind of live because this is a recording. I'm Creative Kelsey, here with Jazzy Jordan, Kickin' Kaylee, and Antisocial Andrea. Bringing you our weather today is Smarty Marty, who's coming down with a case of grit.
Hello everyone, it's a wonderful Wednesday and there's a low of -12 degrees out with a high chance of grit, if you're devoted enough. It's not just about the quantity of your dedication, it's about the quality. And back to you, News Crew.
Thank you, Smarty Marty. For today's main topic, we will be talking about grit in relation to practice. Like Smarty Marty stated earlier, your practice needs to be quality over quantity. According to Angela Duckworth, not just more time on task, but also better time on task. Speaking of Angela, we have her right here in the newsroom. She is here today to talk about her development of her skill over time chart. Hi Angela, how are you today? Great to have you on the show.
Thanks, Kickin' Kaylee. I'm great.
Guys, she has her mustache on.
What?
She still has her mustache on. Go, 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 go! Go.
Thank you for having me on the show tonight. I drew this graph to represent world-class experts' skill level and how it improves gradually every year. But as their skills develop over the years, their rate of improvement will eventually plateau. Meaning, while world-class experts develop more and more skills, they will only be able to theoretically improve so much before they cannot improve anymore.
Thank you, Angela, and I'm going to throw it back to Creative Kelsey.
Alright, thank you. We are back with the experts of all experts, Mr. Anders Eriksson.
Hi, thanks for having me today. I'm here to talk to you about the 10,000 hour rule, which states that an individual works for 10,000 hours over the course of 10 years. The people that excel over these 10 years are the ones who practice deliberately rather than repetitively.
Wait, you guys, we have breaking news. There's reportedly been a man who's been running for 10 years. However, the only thing that has gotten better about him is his facial hair.
Mr. Gump, how do you feel about these past 10 years running?
I'm pretty tired.
Okay, what do you plan to do now that you have gained 10 years of experience?
Think I'll go home now.
Holy that's exactly what I was talking about. Practicing repetitively, not deliberately. The guy did not change a pace, and he obviously wasn't keeping track of his heart rate or anything. If he wanted to practice deliberately, he would have done something smarter and something differently with his running.
Thank you, Mr. Eriksson. Now to Antisocial Andrea for her final thoughts of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Erickson. Now for some final thoughts on grit in relationship to practice. A few quotes that really exemplify this are: deliberate practice is significantly more effortful and significantly less enjoyable than anything else they did to prepare for a competition. Number 2, there are daily small debts. Number 3, gritty people do more deliberate practice and experience more flow, which is the ability to be able to perform at a high level without a second thought about it. And number 4, nobody wants to show you the hours of becoming. They'd rather show the highlight of what they've become.
Thank you, Antisocial Andrea. Thank you all for joining us on channel 208. Be sure to tune in next week for our episode on purpose.
1 week later.
Hello and welcome back to channel 1359 #. Today we will continue our discussions on grit, but now focusing on having a purpose. We found that gritty people will depend on both purpose, which is the intention to contribute to the well-being of others, and interest, which is one source of passion. Experts say that the best way to achieve anything is to start out with a self-oriented goal or interest, learn self-discipline practice, and finally integrate that work with an other-centered purpose. And now for today's weather with Smarty Marty.
Thanks, Creative Kelsey. So how much does purpose matter? Since humans are social creatures, we seek purpose and pleasure. People who cooperate are more likely to survive than loners. There are at least 2 ways to pursue happiness. The first is eudaimonic, which is being in harmony with one's inner spirit. The other is hedonic, which is a positive, in-the-moment, self-centered experience. On the grit scale, as you can see, pleasure is a constant rate, no matter how gritty you are. In contrast, purpose has a positive incline on the grit scale, so grittier people are drastically more likely to seek meaning. With this said, this scale does not discriminate whether you are a saint or Hitler.
Thank you, Smarty Marty. And now we have another special interview with Angela Duckworth herself.
Hello, Kicking Kaylee. Thanks for having me again today. I'm here today to talk about the purpose behind some of the grittiest people's goals. I interviewed many grit paragons asking what their purpose was. They stated that what they're pursuing usually holds more value than themselves. They always stated that it was for something greater, and this something was always their driving force to keep pushing through their struggles. All in all, people stated that the idea of purpose is the idea that what we do matters to the people other than ourselves.
Thank you, Mrs. Duckworth. Now to the street cam with absent Andrea.
Hello and welcome to Grit Street. I'm here with Bob, Paul, and Andrew. They are working on the new church here at the corner of Happy and Healthy. So, what are you all doing out here today?
I'm laying some bricks.
I'm building a church.
I'm building the house of God.
Well, thank you all. You see, Bob just has a job, laying bricks. Paul has a career, and Andrew has a calling. While many of us would like to be Andrew, we identify with Bob or Paul instead. And back to you, newsroom.
Thank you, absent Andrea. You know, they do say that although these three men have the same occupation, it's how they view their work that's more important than their job title. Now to Kick and Kaylee for our final thoughts.
Thank you, Creative Kelsey. For our final thoughts today, we want to reiterate that there's a pattern. Everyone has a spark, and that's the very beginning of purpose. That spark is something you're interested in. It's also important to know that you alone can make a difference, and what matters is that someone demonstrates that it's possible to accomplish something on behalf of others.
Perfect. Thank you all for joining us today on channel 439. Make sure you all focus on your purpose.